Welcome all. This is Dave Putz from JKP Holdings. Alongside of me, Shantae Duffy from Madison Management Services. We are excited to announce that in 2019, we'll be hosting our own tape breakdown workshop. We're providing an over-the-shoulder look into our process of how we evaluate notes to purchase, from receiving the tape to a responsible bid.
We will be showing you how we break down tapes, starting from explaining the columns on each tape, what they mean, and how they affect our bid.
We will then show you how we research and determine both property value and current situation.
Next, we will be talking about the borrower and their status. We are going to look at the status of the property taxes, foreclosure status, and if the borrower has filed bankruptcy, and how all of these items affect our purchase price.
Lastly, we'll also look to talk to you about what an ROI calculator is. We'll discuss the data from the tape that we pull into our ROI calculator to ensure that we make a responsible, unemotional, return-driven bids.
We will be explaining what each column means on a tape, how they affect each other, such as the note status and the legal status, the differences between them, and how they should be plugged into your ROI calculator and how it affects your bid. Through our experiences, we hear that investors sort the properties by state and eliminate certain states because of the long foreclosure timelines and costs associated. Instead of eliminating states due to these factors, you should be plugging this information into your ROI calculator. Allow your calculator to take into account these factors so your bid is adjusted to conditions of the property and/or state. We will also discuss the pros and cons of occupancy and non-occupancy. We will review the last payment received, paid to date, and the next payment due date. What does this mean, and how does this affect our bid, keeping in mind the statute of limitations?
We'll also be talking about property value. We use data from Zillow and other sites along with a few other property factors to come up with our evaluation estimate. We'll show you how we use different sites to help us determine the rental value, which is also plugged into our ROI calculator to show us the outcome of our exit strategies. We'll share with you why we use both Google Maps and Bing, their differences in how it helps us determine the value of the property. We use agents and other investors to assist us with the property valuation. We're going to be sharing with you some of our automation processes and how to cut down time and make determining the estimated value of the property.
Status of the borrower will include the property taxes and what they are, the borrower's current situation, and utility bills, and more to figure out if the property is in fact occupied. We will also discuss tax assessment and market value and why this is a factor and how effective is this. We will determine annual taxes by searching Zillow and by searching through property tax records. We also use Zillow to figure out foreclosures if they are listed or check the other county websites through Netter Online. We also use Pacer to figure out if the borrower is in bankruptcy. We will discuss how we use Pacer and evaluate our findings to assist with our bid price.
Lastly, we'll be using our ROI calculator and sharing with you what we believe should be included in your own. What extra strategies we feel are the ones to take into account as worst case scenario. We use them to come up with a formula to pick responsibly. We'll also be sharing our time value calculator to determine if a non-performing property becomes performing and what the annual return will be. We use reinstatements to focus on this since it will hinder our bid prices. Overall, we are looking to discuss with you why we believe our bids should be based on what ends up in our pocket versus the common notion that what the percentage of UPB or BPO, and how we use our calculator to figure this out. We believe that instead of bidding on what others say the assets should be priced at, you should only be bidding on what your return is. We will also be discussing a few things as the buyers should be concerned with, such as foreclosure costs, but also including attorney fees, costs for court, publication costs, eviction costs, debt license requirements, super lien states, federal programs for borrower assistance, what the current servicer is doing, what the past servicer was doing, loss mitigation efforts, and so much more.
Our goal is to be able to share with you our knowledge and our process of evaluating notes to purchase. Our workshop will be broken down into two parts. Part 1 will be a required overview. Part 2 will be 2 different live tape breakdowns.
We thank you and look forward to joining us soon.